Welcome.
That's not funny.
It is.
Oh, and the world's going crazy!
Stop, drop, and talk.
We've got no time for bullshit!
Stop, drop, and talk. With Ava, RJ, and B-Rock. It's Stop, drop, and talk.
Has nothing to say.
Oh, yeah!
It's that time.
It's that time
Here we
again.
go.
What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for joining us. We took last week off due to the election, but we're so happy to be back. I'm so happy to see you guys, and I'm so happy to see my favorite lady every single Monday. It's Eva Steele, everybody!
I'm his favorite lady on Mondays.
Only on Monday.
Only on Mondays. I am excited to be back with two of my favorite people most of the time. Sometimes we fight like siblings. And hey, speaking of siblings, you guys heard it. We've got Lzzy Hale on tonight. B-Rock, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? How are you, Machine Gun Kelly? I love the hair. It looks amazing.
So I did this for a photo shoot. I've got a musical project with our mutual friend Taylor Carroll, who brought me in as a writing partner and as to sing and play drums on his project that he put together along with Greg Cash, the amazing Greg Cash on bass.
Awesome.
And so I did this for a photo shoot, and our producer Jay, his wife, actually did it for me, and they did a pretty good job. And yeah, I've been getting the MGK.
It looks good, man.
Like
It looks good.
Thanks, man. It's been
I really like
fun.
it.
I wake up and look in the mirror and it's like, oh, I keep forgetting I have it. It's so weird.
I was telling you guys I just did that to a friend of mine's hair this weekend too. And
you know,
like,
even as a hairstylist, how do you think they did?
I think it actually looks really damn good. They toned it right. It's not yellow.
I'm using the purple shampoo, like the purple and silver shampoo.
Don't the Matrix So Silver shampoo.
Yeah.
Don't use that.
Damn it. All right, you
Yeah,
gotta help me
don't
out.
use that.
You got to think of it like this. Blue is the coldest primary color on the color wheel. Purple has red in it.
Oh, crap. Oh, boy. Here we go.
You're welcome.
Well, you see, this is why we keep Eve around, specifically just for this reason.
Matrix makes a shampoo called Brass Off, and it's their blue shampoo. So for those listening, if you're trying to get rid of those yellow tones,
Brass off. Well, we have a lot to get into today and a lot of big news. So what do you guys say? Should we get into a little bit of Some Fucks Given right away? Or?
Let's do it. We're going to do this show a little different this week.
All right, let's do it. Some Fucks Given. Let's go.
Some people got many and others have none. We're all going crazy, so come and get one. It's Some Fucks Given.
That's right. It's Some Fucks Given. And I think we should start out with the biggest news of the entire thing. The whole country is talking about it. Everybody knows it. It's been on the tip of everyone's tongue. It is officially Chris Jericho's birthday, everybody. Yay! Happy birthday, Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
We
come
love
on
him.
our show.
The wrestler and the rock star,
We
right?
will definitely have Chris Jericho on Stop, Drop, and Talk. If not this season, definitely next season, because he has been a buddy of mine and also a fan of the show. So we will definitely have him on. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I got to watch him on that pay-per-view, that AEW wrestling. Like,
How was that?
It was actually really good.
I gotta watch that. What?
I'm normally not into like AEW, WWE. Like, that's normally not my thing. But you know what? It was awesome, and I actually really liked it.
I gotta watch that because, like, I'm with you. Like, I really don't follow professional wrestling, but I've been to a couple events, and they are so fun. They're super fun. I think I would, and of course, I love Chris. And one of my other buddies who goes by Baron Corbin is another wrestler. It seems like the rock world and the wrestling world is very intertwined. Like
they're merging.
Nice. Yeah, really. So,
but
I
it's
gotta check that out.
badass. Well,
really
and like
check
it's
that
so
out.
cool because it's like the theatrics of all of it, and you know the pyro, and like these are like very carefully choreographed matches, and it's like it actually. People are like, wrestling is so stupid. No, I think it's actually fucking awesome.
Dude, like when you actually see it live and you see the coordination, like, come on, like it is a form of art. You know, it's like gymnastics, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
With eyeliner and grease.
It seems like it would take
Body
some
oil.
talent to know how to be
body
like
oil.
hit like that. I mean, you can't just be hit like that. You have to know how to
you,
take that, right?
You got to
Jeez.
be an athlete, and you got to, especially if you're. Apparently, I found out that the guy that's losing the fight, that's like staged to lose the fight, is the one that has to work even harder because he has to like actually take the hits. Oh, look at him! There he is, Chris.
There's Chris Jericho.
I love him. We played so many shows with Fozzy. Eva, I think you worked Fozzy at Sturgis,
I
right?
opened for Fozzy.
You opened for Fozzy.
Oh,
I
awesome.
did. Yeah.
Dirty Sexy Riot. That is so cool.
did.
I love him.
Yeah,
so
it was awesome. He was super great, very, very nice. But there's some other big things that have been going on this week.
I heard about Alex Trebek and on Sean Connery. I was really sad to hear about that, man. Yeah, I know it's a happy day for Chris Jericho, but it is a very sad day for the families of Sean Connery and Alex Trebek. And I think it's warrants pointing out that these two characters were iconic characters that, just ironically, they died around the same time. But on SNL with Will Ferrell and Daryl Hammond, they played
Suck it, Trebek.
They played
Right.
Alex Trebek and Sean Connery, and those were like it became such an iconic thing between the two of them, the interaction between them, and it's just like it has nothing to do with like them as real people, but it was so funny on SNL. So it's kind of strange.
You know, I mean, God bless them both, but I saw a meme and I thought it was hilarious where it was like
Was
I saw a meme and I thought it was hilarious because it was Sean Connery and he's like, I died a week before you. Suck it, Trebek.
Dude,
by a week.
Dan,
It was kind of funny.
Dan, look for that. I want to see that. That's crazy. That's awesome.
I've seen that meme as well. Actually, it is pretty funny. Also, the real biggest news in the country going on right now.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is officially our 46th president of the United States.
I guess we can officially say that now. I heard that there's still some counting and some things going on, but yeah, I guess it's looking like that's the case.
Yes, and I know that RJ or not RJ specifically, but I guess viewers think that B-Rock and I are Trump humpers. And we are. I thought I coined that term, by the way. It is on Urban Dictionary. I was so pissed off about that.
No way.
Yeah,
Trump
I was
humpers,
mad about it.
Oh, that's
Trump
awesome.
humpers.
Seriously.
But I think it's pretty safe to say, I think I can speak for B-Rock and I when I say we're both, pretty down the middle. And I will say Biden's acceptance speech was exceptional. I really liked it.
I think you said everything that we really needed to hear right now, because you're right. It's a very divisive time right now, and people are very emotional about politics, and it just seems like something that's such a waste of mental energy to get upset about or right now.
It's just crazy.
I mean, I agree with Eva. She spoke, but I didn't vote this time because basically I just didn't feel comfortable enough. But I like what Biden said about unity. Like, I want us all to be together, peaceful and together. And that's kind of what brought me to be like, it's okay. Like, I accept it. It's, there's nothing wrong with this.
That's good to hear. And you're right. I think that in today's climate, I think it goes for either spectrum, if you're extremely left or extremely right. If you're right down the middle, it seems like you're kind of effed both ways, because people on the left will say, oh, you're in the middle, then you're right, or people on the far right will say, oh, well, then you're left, but I think it warrants saying that the people that don't speak the loudest are the ones that are very down the middle. I think that there's a lot of people like that in the country that are
for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's always the extreme right or left sides that get the most press, obviously, because the press is trying to sell clicks, so they're gonna talk about the most extreme things, and that's something I've been talking about for weeks, is that you can't really believe everything that's going on in the news, because if you believe that the news is the same as the real world and you look out the window, you're like, oh, I mean, the whole world isn't really on fire, like it seems like it if you watch the news all day. So that wreaks havoc on your psyche. Buzz Mingan talked about this. All right.
He did. Yes, he did. We could go on and on and on and on about this. And I think we do actually want to hear a little bit more about it, just in like a little bit different context. I don't know, RJ, what do you say? Is it time for some medicinal laughter?
I actually wrote a few jokes this week, so let's get into it. It's time for our weekly medicinal laughter, everybody.
Medicinal laughter. Medicinal laughter.
Yes.
fucking
Oh my god.
Yes. Because
So good.
laughter is the best medicine after all. So you know what? Let's all get our laughs on because that's the only thing that's going to help us get through all this stuff. So my first joke goes like this. Well, the results are in, and it looks like Joe Biden is on his way to becoming our new president. And who would have thought talking shit on John McCain would have cost Trump Arizona? That's the first joke. Let me just get that out of the way because the rest are not like that. Anyway, after days and days of waiting for the results, some of us were hoping for different results, but it seems the trajectory held steady and we didn't have any drastic changes as ballots were counted. The only drastic change for us now is we've all bitten off all of our fingernails. Some of us even had to switch to biting our toenails, which is really gross. After covering the chaos of the last 4 years, and of course, especially in 2020, many news reporters have finally had it up to here, like this guy right here.
President. We're doing is, we're looking, I know about real news or fake news? Buzz off. So here's the
Fuck
Oh,
off.
I love that guy. I love him.
And my response to that is, this is what happens, Larry, when you're a reporter in 2020. That was for you, Eva. That was a big
like that.
Lebowski quote.
I like that.
So
I
during
see
the
what
ballot,
you're doing.
yeah, right. You like that? So during the ballot counts, many protesters showed up to several counting offices in a lot of battleground states. Like, for instance, in Arizona, you could hear them yelling, "Count the vote! Count the vote!" Yet in Michigan, they were all yelling, "Stop the count! Stop the count!" And I'm just like, this reminds me a lot of when I watch the Rams play football on TV. As soon as they score a touchdown in the first quarter, I'm like, end the game, because that's how that works. So right now, most Biden voters right now are feeling a sense of relief, not because he won, but because they don't have to pretend they like him anymore. And now we can hold his feet right to the fire. Hey, Joe, hope you didn't come into the office with a pre-existing hot foot condition because you got one now. Meanwhile, Rudy Giuliani is still pursuing lawsuits in certain battleground states. Yep, there he is right there. Rudy Giuliani, everyone. He is fearlessly pushing and pursuing lawsuits, but we just found out, actually, that this is some news that I just found out today. One of his spokespeople just came out and presented some brand new evidence. So let's roll that footage.
As I mentioned, we are not prepared to give that number.
The Biden crime family stealing the election. The media is covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media is covering it up. We want our freedom for the world. Give us our freedom, Joe Biden. Joe Biden is covering up this election. He's stealing it.
Where were we? What was the last question?
Oh my God.
What if he's right? Huh?
I love his reaction at the end. It's like, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is what I think. I think this is what I think was going on in this guy's head. He starts like yelling all this stuff. He's probably thinking, as soon as I get on camera and start yelling this stuff, they're gonna start dragging me away. The security is gonna swarm me, and I'm gonna be fighting them off while I'm trying to say what I gotta say. But nobody went up to him. Nobody did anything. So basically, they just sat there and waited until they got tired and walked away.
That's how I fight, though. Sometimes, like if I fight with somebody and they're just like going off on me, I'll just wait and then I'll be like,
"Are you done?
Are you done?"
Sorry, where were we? Just like it's so funny. Anyway, so that's where we should get our most trusted information from. Deranged Chris Farley lookalike lunatics with mustaches wearing cargo shorts and cut-off t-shirts that say barbecue, beer, and freedom. I mean,
I was going to wear that shirt tonight. Come on. Don't even get that. Come on.
Dude, whoever, every t-shirt company, I'll bet they're starting to put that shit on Amazon right now. Like, everyone's going to want to buy this shirt now. He made that shirt famous.
Even RJ wants that shirt now.
I mean, in his defense, I do love all three of those things. I wouldn't wear them as if they were a Grateful Dead fan club t-shirt. Hey, crazy Uncle Mike, I saw you on the TV. And if that's not enough convincing evidence for you, you should really check out the Badass remix. Here it is.
As I mentioned, we are not prepared to give that number
The
now.
Biden crime family stealing the election. The media is covering up. The media is covering up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. Give us our freedom. We want our freedom for the world.
Bars.
Oh my God.
Who did that? Come on.
Dude, that's been stuck in my head all week. It reminded me of that, like, had your wives, had your kids, like I love that that's still going on. That was hilarious.
Had your wives, had your kids. I love that they've made that had your wives, had your kids thing. They made it into a meme. Mercury's in retrograde. Had your wives, had your kids.
So there you go. We have that to look forward to. 4 more years of that crap. So everyone look forward to that. Anyway, shifting gears. Even amid all this political chaos that's going on right now, the coronavirus is still a thing, everybody. So I will end this segment with a story that is 100% true. I can't wait to tell this to you. This literally happened to me the other day, and I'm just so proud of myself for coming up with this off the top of my head. This is comedy genius if I don't toot my own horn, but toot, everyone. Anyway, I went to the liquor store by my house out here in LA, not to celebrate or nothing, just a habit for the last 4 years. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I swear. So anyway, I was in line behind a guy who wasn't wearing a face mask. The employee behind the counter was wearing a face mask, and he kept on telling the guy he needed to put one on. Keep in mind, this is a small LA liquor store. The only reinforcement they have is you can't drink in the store. Other than that, if you're buying, you're the boss. Anyway, the maskless customer comes back and says, "Hey, man, I'm just building up my immune system. The mask helps the COVID breed in your mouth, man. Like, if you don't wear the mask, you'll build up a tolerance." And I couldn't help myself. Dude, Taylor was with me. He will attest to this. I literally said to the guy, I said, "That's exactly why I stopped wearing condoms, because I'm just building up my immunity to herpes, AIDS, and getting people pregnant."
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. And of course, I'm not going to pull out either, because that will only help her build up her immunity to getting pregnant. Okay, I made that part up later, but this is a good reminder. Red city, blue city, dumb is everywhere. And that is your medicinal laughter of the week. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my God. That is like quite possibly the greatest thing I've heard all day.
Dude,
that was pretty good.
Hilarious, man. Oh, thank you. That really happened. But oh my God, I was just so looking forward to this segment, because I just wanted to show all these videos that are going on right now. Like, the internet's blowing up right now, but whatever.
So much crazy. There's too much crazy going on right now.
All right. So what are we doing next now? Is anyone at the door?
Yeah, somebody is at the door. Actually, you should probably answer this. I am so excited for this.
Here we go. Okay. Get ready for some embarrassment, RJ. It's time for me to bring in my big sister, my singer in my band, and I'm so proud to finally have her on Stop, Drop, and Talk. This has been a long time coming. Please welcome Lzzy Hale. She's about to stop, drop, and pop in.
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Hey, guys.
What's up, sis? Yay! Lizzy's finally on Stop, Drop, and Talk.
Yeah, finally.
How are you? Wow, that's amazing background. Holy
really
cow.
good. No, yeah, I just, just thought I'd show off some toys while I'm at it. No, thanks for having me. Seriously, guys, thank you.
No, it's been a long time coming. I'm so glad it finally worked out. So, as a lot of our fans know, you and I both are doing basically the same thing. We're hosting podcast, live stream, YouTube, and Facebook shows, and all that, and everything like that. So our schedules were always conflicting. But I'm really glad that you're actually taking you're kind of off season right now with your show.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget that there's a bank account that I had to open up that you've been actually building up you've been paying me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Ever since the first denial to be on your show, like, I just said I needed a bigger check, and so thank you.
Is this starting already?
Here we go.
We started to go fund me. Bring Lzzy on Stop, Drop, and Talk. It finally reached the 10 million mark.
That is so. I think we're gonna find out all kinds of shit about RJ on the show, having Lzzy on.
I knew this was gonna happen, man.
I'm so excited. We're gonna save that part for later. So, Lzzy, you are doing a new show on Access, correct?
Yes, on Access TV. It's called A Year in Music, and it's basically it's basically a trip in a time machine. I am hosting the show, and every episode it goes through 1 year, and we talk about everything that happened politically and socially, and more importantly, how music helped shape all of that and propel ourselves forward as humans. So it's been really interesting, but it's kind of my maiden voyage in TV hosting. So I remember I agreed to the show. I signed the contracts and I'm on my way to the first shooting, and I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm terrible at this? I just literally jumped headfirst in the Shark Tank.
Oh,
and
you'll be fine. It's
Oh,
so
that's
easy.
amazing.
Yeah, so
If we can do it, you can do it.
well, it was really cool, because there's an added so I'm reading a teleprompter. There's an amazing team of research people, but then they want me to write kind of my add-on scripts for these shows, for like if there was a year in particular that something was happening to me or our band. I get to kind of interject my personality. But what I didn't expect was the kind of personality that was going to come out of me as a host, because kind of similar to music, when I sing, a lot of people I'm sure can pick out my influences, like little, okay, she definitely listens to Heart, or she definitely listens to Sabbath, there's something going on, So when you're a host, those same things kind of come out of you and like reveal themselves. And what I realized is that what I'm pulling from, RJ, and you'll remember this, are a lot of the 90s like cheese programs that like mom used to watch, like Access Hollywood and Extra and all of that. So a lot of like talking head stuff that
Forensic Files.
So yeah, I'm really getting to show my cheese ballness on this show. So it's a lot of
great. That's really cool, because I remember when we played with Sammy Hagar, we did a festival with Sammy Hagar. He was also doing stuff with Access TV.
Yeah, he's got a show too, Road Trip, and we've been trying to hook up and do a show together with that as well. And same thing, it's just like schedules conflicting, and we got to figure it out. And then there's the whole, COVID situation, which praise the Access TV people. They're extremely cautious and extremely respectful about what's going on right now in the world and keeping everybody safe. So yeah, it's
great to see that things are opening back up. A lot of TV shows are now moving back into their studios. They're even having studio audiences, but they're limited and they're spaced out. So at least we're still able to make it work.
Yeah, it's amazing to learn about all of this too. Like, so for instance, my next adventure, I'm going to be the judge on a show called No Cover, which is basically like
the voice
for rock bands, and it's no cover songs. It's all original material. So it's actually really cool and very fulfilling. I the reason I said yes to it is because it's not just giving them an opportunity to have a record deal, but they're going to be having me and Alice Cooper and Gavin Rosdale and Bishop Briggs and Tosin Abasi, and we get to kind of, it's not just about, okay, the song or the music, but it's about, okay, hey, are you looking people in the eye when you're fronting the band? What happens when the guitar rig goes down and you have to stall in front of thousands of people? Like, down to like, hey, maybe you should have a different jacket. So we're going to be able to kind of at least give a little bit of experience to these kids, that wherever they go in their next adventure, they're going to be able to take that with them. So that's pretty exciting. But we had this Zoom meeting, right? And it's a whole racket. Like, I'm either, at my hotel room, or I'm at the venue, which is the Troubadour. And like, I don't see anybody as I go in or out. There's a group A, group B, group C, group D. So group A is like the judges and like the makeup and hair people. And then the group B is like the band, and like, so we're all going to be like seeing each other from a distance, but we're not going to be like mingling. And
that's very smart.
We're also getting tested every other day, so this nose is not going to be the same nose after those 11 days of shooting.
I've only been tested twice since March, and I'm like, I don't want to do it again.
Yeah,
so I actually
they're getting better now.
I read something about the rating on that show, how you're going to rate them off of like originality, presence, and then songcraft.
Yes.
Who do you think's going to be the stickler on there? Because I heard Alice Cooper is pretty touchy.
Yeah, well, Alice is an amazing songwriter, and I remember him quoting, like, if you don't know how to write a song, you haven't listened to the Beatles enough. And so like, I know that he's going to be giving his, what is it, like 40 years of experience?
Yeah,
he's going to lay out on the table. But it's kind of interesting because all four of us come from these four different corners of the world. So, and all of these different generations, because then we have Gavin Rosdale, who's going to have a completely different perspective. And then Bishop Briggs, who is like very like indie cool and just,
she's so great.
Yes, I love her. Actually.
So it's going to be fun. And then Tosin's just a freaking shredder. So it's gonna be fun.
That's huge. Right on.
And what a cool, it's
sorry.
him and his soundboard. Like
she gives you the same eye rolls that I do, RJ. You should be used to this.
I know. I'm so that's why we get along so well. It's like,
I'm like every time it never fails. He like somebody take that board away.
Eva, do you have any younger brothers at all? Or
I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay,
Ooh.
yeah, so she gets it. She has that like big sister thing.
Well, I get it.
RJ equals 5 younger siblings.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, look at that picture.
Oh yeah, good job, Dan. Look at that shit.
Little baby Arj.
Man, these are the old Hailstorm days.
Oh man, I was telling RJ earlier that so you've met my sister, Lzzy. I think it was a couple years ago in Rapid City.
Oh really?
My sister is the same distance away from me as you and RJ are. So we have the same age difference. And we used to play different, man, we would just tear on each other like an imaginary line, like in our bedroom, like don't cross this and bunk beds and don't steal my happy birthday and just stuff like that. Do you guys have any wicked
How do you steal a happy birthday, by the way?
I have one for you. So when RJ and I we were born in like suburban Philadelphia, like just outside of Philly in a Glenside area and Southampton to be specific. And we grew up in this Victorian twin, which on one side was my mom's stepdad, and then on the other side was us. And so RJ and I, so let me clarify. My parents bought the drum kit for me. All right.
It's a famous story.
So I had it in my room, but I never really touched it. I didn't have an interest in the drums. It just wasn't.
Is this like a Step Brothers? Like, I know you touched my drum kit.
Exactly. It kind of was like that.
RJ and I had separate rooms growing up, but we had an adjoining closet. So little bro would sneak through the closet, like super like Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe style, and would come into my room and destroy the kit, like just do exactly what he does now, but when he was like 2
years old. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, they'll never catch me because I'll just sneak in through the closet. They'll never know that I'm in here.
So
not thinking that they could hear the drums from like next door.
So finally I was like, just stay out of my room. Just take the drum kit. Just take it. Just stay out of my room. And so I always like to tell people that I'm like, the real reason that you started drums was because I gave that to you.
That's right. But no, the rest is history.
RJ and I we got along really well. We were the only siblings. I was born 3 months premature. And then RJ was born 1 month premature. And it was just a lot of an emotional situation for my mom. And so that's why, she only had 2 kids. But my mom always wanted a big family kind of thing. And
my dad's mullet right there. And my mullet too. I got a mullet.
That's dad. And that's my grandfather and his wife. And
that super, super hot lady in the middle is our mom.
That's our mom.
Hey,
yeah.
And then by the way, Joe is in these comments just trolling the out of
that's
you
what
guys.
He does. Hi, Joe.
He's the king of that, man.
He's probably right there, right? He's right next to you.
Oh, he's around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Joe.
Dude,
you should bring him in. Bring him in and say hello. Joe, come in and say hi.
Go say hi.
I want you to meet my co-host. Well, Joe, of course, knows Brock, but none of you guys have met Eva. And, here's a fun fact: I still haven't even met Eva in person. What's up, Joe? Joe, hi, Joe, everybody. What's up, dude? Oh, Joe, everybody.
Yeah, so
you guys. Fuck.
RJ and I have actually never met.
Oh, that's amazing. I have so many dear friends that I've met in the past year that I've never embraced, I've never met, I've never been in the same room with them, and I cannot wait for like that moment to happen where we can actually in person be like, oh my God.
I can't wait to meet Eva and be like, wow, you're taller than I thought.
Hey, I am only 5'4". I'm not that tall.
Like, hi, Eva. Well, we're hoping that someday we can take Stop Drop and talk, like, do some like live events and stuff like that. Take on the road.
Fun,
so when that day finally comes, I can't wait for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, even just like for us to get together and do like a real promo shot instead of all of us having to, like shoot on a white background or something and then have us all like piece together and look like a group. But
right, we've been doing that since we started, and that is kind of the more challenging thing of doing this more collective style show rather than just doing something solo on your own. But But it's amazing that like the technology has come so far due to COVID-19,
cool.
and now we're able to do all these things. So
Lzzy, you actually met like a huge group of my friends and my husband. You met him when you were in Rapid City.
Oh,
nice.
yeah. Do you have that photo?
Please tell him I say hello. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like super random, but yeah, they had
photo of him at our
meet and greets, and my friend Zach, who is a host on one of the syndicated morning shows here, proposed to you actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I have the photo of him like proposing. I should see if I can find it.
Married? Like, did that happen?
It happened. You said yes, by the way.
He's probably the only guy from Rapid City that's a redhead that proposed to you that you said yes to.
We say that to everybody.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't remember that?
Right now, between my sister and I think we're supposed to marry like around like 3,000 people now from all the meet and greets.
That is so many.
It's awesome, man. Our fan base, High Freak family, by the way. Cheers to everybody in the chat.
Freak family?
Yeah,
they're all out there. They're all blowing up the comments.
What I think is the most beautiful thing about everything that has gone on in 2020 is I've just seen this amazing display of humanity and compassion and just support of one another. Like Dan called me a stalker earlier because I'm like, I'm going to come in early and like watch. And, but I really am on everywhere. Like I like going into my feeds on Twitter and Instagram and just seeing what everyone is doing. And it's so great to see, because there'll be like somebody that'll come in and just kind of vent on my mentions page and be like, man, I'm just having a really bad day or whatever. And then there'll just be a slew of freaks that are just like, hey, DM me if you need to talk. Like maybe we can FaceTime. Like it's all good. Like what's happening? Like vent to me. And it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of.
I totally see what you're saying, because we're so used to having that constant interaction with our followers and the people that come to the shows. But now that we don't have that, all we have is social media.
Yeah.
And it's been the same with me. Like I've been loving chatting with all the fans over there. Like, thank God we have that.
Yeah, we find a way to pick up the slack and evolve. And
we also interact with a lot of them on this show too, which is pretty cool. Like they get to like write in comments and we get to
chit-chat. I was just gonna say that I watch all the live comments that are coming in as we're doing this, and I'm noticing that a lot of your guys' Hailstorm fans are rolling over into, obviously the Stop, Drop, and Talk fam. And it's so cool because everything that you just said about how everybody's so supportive, like I see so many of our viewers being like, oh, hey, you're here watching with us. That's so cool. How was your day? And someone's like, oh man, it was a rough one. And they're like, yeah, well, message me, like you said. And like we're seeing the rollover of that. So it's really awesome.
I just had a conversation with people like just over the past 2 days, because obviously like when the election news happened, there was this immense relief, and we all got to kind of celebrate with each other. Everybody partied hard on Saturday, and it was hangover Sunday. And something that we talked about too is because some people were commenting on like, oh well, they were thanking me for reaching out, and I'm like, dude, I'm just the host of the party. You guys make it happen. You guys do this all on your own. I'm just here to give you an outlet, and it's such a
humble host.
Cool thing. Yeah.
It's very cool, and it's so cool just to see like right now that's what the world needs, like bad.
I saw this. This is not going to be quoted right, but I saw this something on Reddit where this girl was describing Saturday like it's like I came home and I've been wearing this like wired bra for like 4 years and these high heels, and I finally got to take all of it off and like lay on the couch. I'm like, yeah. It's cool. I love seeing all the hope happen, and at least, and look, no matter what side of the coin you were on, at least, we are stepping in my eyes, the right direction, where there is some chance for hope and some chance for change. I find myself getting super emotional on just for the entire weekend, like just on the verge of like relief tears. And it was just so beautiful to like come together, like again, just talking about the fans and stuff. And
were you watching like the whole time as like the ballots were being counted, the electoral points were being added up like the whole time? Because I did the opposite. I was like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. I don't even want to. I'll wait until somebody tells me. I literally found out that Biden won when Emily I was in bed still. Emily came in the room and jumped on top of me and said that he won. Like, okay, well, there. That's how I found out.
Same thing, but different. I was in the shower when it was announced, and then I got the bejesus scared out of me because like Joe's yelling. It's like, oh, what? You know,
don't slip.
And, don't
didn't get any like cold water over the side.
Oh yeah, cold water over the side.
like the Gatorade cooler like on a football game. No,
Biden toss. Woo! Yeah.
So funny, man. It's been a crazy nail biter of a week. That's why like I just didn't even want to look at it.
Well, I was in and out. I didn't want to like just have the news on and listen to the talking heads, and get the every blow by blow, because it's like, to me that would just be like anxiety city.
So way too high anxiety.
Yeah,
we knew that we weren't gonna
kept checking in, like online, just checking in. And,
yeah. Well, yeah, we occasionally Google, see the electoral map, see where it's standing, but I knew that we weren't going to find out on Tuesday. Because of the virus, everyone was doing a lot of more voting by mail. So, I knew that it wasn't going to happen until like the end of the week. So,
yeah.
Well, I got to switch it up on you guys and ask RJ and Lzzy a question here. So it happened to me. First of all, I have to bring back a memory because it's very important to me. 7 years ago, RJ, Lzzy, Dan, and I were in Switzerland, Zurich, for that. Zurich.
We were on tour with Alter Bridge, right? Oh, look at that! Oh, yeah, good one. Yeah, good one, Dan.
So we're gonna bring that back because I kind of missed those times. For me, it's 7 years. For you, it's maybe like
that was
2
a
years.
Fun tour, man. Yeah, it feels like it's been 20 years since then.
Yeah, Alter Bridge was there. What do you guys have anything up your sleeves planned that you can maybe tell us about? Anything special, for your fans? Are you missing them? Is there anything new coming out?
We're about to get into the studio for real. Not just making stuff here.
In about a week or so, right?
Yeah, it's like awesome. About a week or so away.
I think we start next week exactly. So it's gonna be a fun time doing that and doing Stop, Drop, and Talk.
But no, that's gonna be exciting. And we have so many great songs that we've worked up and that we've just been like writing this entire year. And it's been this awesome like relay sport because we're all we all live in the same town, but we're all apart because of everything happening. So, so it's like, all right, somebody comes up with an idea, and then like you pass the baton to the next guy, and then like everybody like listens to the demo, and then we send it into our producer. Like, what do you think? And so we have so many great ideas that we have collected, and that we are so excited to like just amp the fuck up. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we haven't played in a room together in months, so that'll be fun.
Oh wow. Are you, Lzzy, are you missing that connection with the fans that you have? I mean, how long has it been?
We were doing the math during this whole thing. So it's been over 20 years since I've gone this long without a live gig.
Oh, wow. That's very true. Oh, Shipcock. See Shipcock. Yeah. No, you're right. I think that the last tour we did was, wasn't it like it was end of last year?
It was overseas. And then the last show we did was in February at that Shiprock thing. And I know that would be the last show. Like, I don't know. But it's weird because even when RJ and I were kids, so we started Hailstorm when I was 13 and he was 11. Right, RJ? You were 11.
Oh, wow.
Oh
my God.
I love it.
Adorable.
So cute. But even in those days, we at least had like a couple like coffee house or bowling alley gigs in a month. It's like this has been one of those things where that's a hole that can't really be filled. That's been 90% of our life, is the live show in front of a live audience and feeding off of these people and meeting new people every day and being in a different city and talking with radio people about whatever we're doing. It's like we that's our life. And so I think that what happened when all of this went down, when the pandemic hit, is that we kind of had to look at ourselves in the mirror in a different way and be like, well, who am I without this? How can I find peace with this instead of just I don't know whether it's the same thing for you, RJ, but I went through kind of a roller coaster in the beginning of just the future's unknown. I'm so used to like having a plan, or at least like there's something coming up, like, so that freaked me out. And then I started kind of really, I don't know, thinking about it more like it was a gift and just putting myself into new projects, new adventures. I've done like 10 collaborations this year, like vocally, just duet style with people, and
that you probably wouldn't have normally like had time to do.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of it. It's like all of these opportunities have kind of laid themselves in my lap at a really good time in my life where I still have a platform to do it. And I would have never said yes to any of it if we had been touring 250 dates a year. So that's the beauty of it.
Honestly, I don't think any of us would have said yes to this podcast.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, you know, like we all were like, we're busy. We got stuff going on. And you know, ironically, for me, it's been opposite the effect that you guys have had, because I'm still able to do gigs. Now I don't have a band, but I own a metal burlesque dance group.
Oh,
And
nice.
so we actually are still getting to do shows, because the stuff, the venues that we play are obviously so much smaller than arenas, you know, like thousands of people. So we're actually getting to still get out there and do stuff. We had a gig this last month. We have a gig next month. Like, so it's bizarre.
I should have been a dancer. I should have just, you know.
There you go.
No. You stick right where you're at, Lzzy.
I'm a terrible dancer. I'm very there's you know.
Well, I'm a terrible singer, so.
But I think that's a good point that you're making, is that if it wasn't for the pandemic, like neither of us would have been able to branch out into different forms of media. Neither of us would be able to do. You wouldn't be able to do the stuff that you're doing on Axis, and I wouldn't be able to do this with Stop, Drop, and Talk, and also you know, just getting into the songwriting world and all these things.
Yeah.
And so it like there are some silver linings, but I think that you're right. I think the thing that we miss the most is just being able to interact with people.
And look, just as performers and as people, you know, in the music business, we would have never gotten into this business if we didn't know how to adapt and how to evolve and how to, because things change. Things change all the time. Like you, RJ, you know, like you have a gig and then you don't have a gig, or like, hey, you were planning on doing this and then that fell through and you got to figure this out, or you know, a band member leaves and you got to figure that out. It's like, you know, we've been evolving and figuring things out for a long time. So I think that the biggest thing, it's forced us all to be creative in a different way, which is awesome. But it's also forced like everybody to honestly look at themselves and maybe even be better people. And we're all being very supportive of each other because we're all in this together. So yeah, I'm thinking about this in a positive way. And I know there's a lot of people that are suffering right now because of that. And so just being a voice for that as well is important. But yeah, and just honestly, man,
speaking of being creative too, I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no. Do you think?
It's all right. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, no. Everything kind of broke up there for a second for me.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of being creative,
the internet.
Yeah, didn't you do something with Slash? You did like a Come Together tune during this COVID thing?
I did. We did Come Together and Long Way to the Top by AC/DC. And yeah, it was just all-star cast. And that was for the
Matt Sorum.
The Detour Festival. And this was something actually that came,
there's our buddy Matt right there.
Yeah, this was something that, speaking of opportunities, like I would have never been able to be a part of that if it wasn't for me stepping in and doing that Raise Your Horns show, every week. And so those contacts came through there. So, and then it's weird how it's a domino effect, because then the people at Access TV saw all the things that were going on with that and then hired me on for that. And then this Detour thing was because everyone's like, oh no, you're hosting shows now? Like, let's see what you're like as a judge. So like everyone's paying attention, which is neat. But like that was okay. But that experience with Come Together and Long Way to the Top, that was awesome, because I don't know if you can like tell if any of you guys have seen the performance, but like I'm like in a constant like pinch me, state. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like I'm playing with, it's not just Slash, but it's Mike Garson, who was Bowie's keyboard player for 30 years. And it's Linda Perry and Gilby Clarke and Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. It's just like, these are the guys that like, I would not be the rocker that I am today without these dudes. And they're like, yeah, dude, let's do this together. I'm like, what?
Talk about meeting your idols, that's
Like, you are talking to me, right? You're not.
Yeah.
Well, what a great nod to get approval from the rock and roll royalty like that, and to consider them your peers. Like that's I know that's something that we have experienced so many times touring with like major bands like Alice Cooper and major iconic artists like Alice Cooper who sees us as equals with him when we're on tour and treats us like gold. You know, like what an amazing tour that was.
I don't know, RJ, if you ever get this too, but even though like, you know, we've known Alice for years and we've known Slash for years.
We gotta get him on this show.
And like Rick Nielsen, you know, from TJ, like I don't know.
Rick, yeah.
I know that like after like a couple years of them knowing us, of course they should know my name. Of course they're gonna remember, right? But every time that they do, and they're like come in and like, hey Lzzy, how you doing? You know, like I'm like, yeah. They remember my name still. Like I'm still like, I don't know what it is. It's like I think it's
you're humble. That's awesome.
You know. Well, you know, it's like you don't like RJ and I didn't get into this because we were cool. No offense, Arj, but we're not.
no, never will be.
We're very much aware that we are not cool. So like just to be you know, sit at the cool kids table every now and then is nice.
I think that's
cool.
Super awesome.
Really
yeah.
Cool.
You guys, this is like going like, I thought this was going to be like work tonight. It's not.
This is so much fun. I know. It's so cool to see all of our. Oh, there's a cool shot of all of us. There we go.
Oh yeah.
With Alice Cooper. Yeah.
By the way, your mom says, "Love my babies."
Oh
yeah, Mama Hale.
Your mom is so great. Your mom is just the greatest mom. When I took my dad on Shiprocked, he had never been around anything like rock and roll style like this, and your mom showed him around and he was so impressed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, she's so humble and just like you guys. I mean, appreciate it.
Well, it takes a lot of guts for, you know, if we can talk, I don't know whether we're talking about my parents for a second, but it's like that was a huge thing for us. I was just listening to RJ. I was just listening to, do you remember, so we the second recording we ever did when I was like, I don't know, probably 15, you know, you were probably 13, and was called Breaking the Silence. And there's this song that
Dan pulled up a picture of that record. It's the cassette tape there it is. Yay!
That was the first one. That was the first one.
That was our first ever record together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one. But I was listening to some of the songs on the second one, and I have to like.
Oh, don't mess with the time, man. Look that one up, Dan.
I had the weird like, I don't know, just this amazing like appreciation, because our parents not only said like, yeah, sure, you can be in a rock band and we'll support you and drive you to the gigs and help you set up. And we made homemade pyro and a rotating drum kit for RJ, like very much like, I think about it now and I'm like, I remember telling mom that mom,
you're crazy.
It's like, wasn't that like parenting 101, don't shake the baby? Like we literally built a rotating upside down drum kit for RJ. He could have dropped on his head. Not that it would have made any difference, obviously.
Yeah, no, it probably would have been an improvement, actually.
There it is. It's coming. Hey, Dad.
Oh, there's Papa Hale right there. Yay! What's up, Papa? He's probably watching tonight too.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
It's such a cool thing because it's like I know that they were excited for us, but I know that deep down they've both confessed to me that they were terrified. They're like, you know, Dad knew how hard it was to be in this business. He was in a bunch of bands back in the 80s as a bass player that never really did anything. And so he knew the potential for disappointment and the potential for, you know, maybe me not being treated equally because I'm a girl or whatever. There was all these things that they knew and they were kind of terrified about, but they were brave enough to like help us do it anyway. And then we would save up and we would go in and you know, for a couple of days and record an album when we had absolutely no business recording an album. Like we weren't like that great as musicians yet, you know, and except for RJ, he was always great. But
nope. Sorry.
No,
Stop lying.
Actually,
misinformation, fake news.
I love this sibling thing going on. It's amazing.
Well, it's the truth though, because all I had to do, like RJ was always
there it is.
At like he could always keep a beat. He knew how to.
No, if you listen to those old records, it's horrible.
There's no, they're not.
The tempos are like this. I couldn't even play to a click at the time. But you know, I've been an advocate for so many parents that you know, a lot of them come to the show and they ask us, but a lot of them ask me like, what advice do you have for my son or my daughters wanting to pick up a guitar, pick up a pair of drumsticks, or start singing. I think there is a good fine balance between being a supportive parent and also handing your kid everything. Like, you don't want to just like be a stage parent. You don't want to like just do everything and push your kid towards anything that they don't want to do. But I think when you see, but also on the other end of the spectrum, you also don't want to be like, oh, you want to start a band, you want to play guitar? Well, then get a job and get yourself a guitar. And you might think like, oh, I'm instilling responsibility. But like, I think that there's a balance there, because you don't want to snuff out the spark when they first get it. You want to be able to provide your kid a way to create to express themselves creatively.
Exactly.
Even if they don't have the means to go out and get something like some sort of tool to and it could be anything, painting,
and this is why,
or whatever, you know?
We had titles of our songs called "Don't Mess with the Time Man," because why not? That doesn't make any sense. The story didn't make any sense, but that was what we wanted to do. It was a very frightening time.
There you go. I think that's a good example of like that perfect balance between like our parents being supportive and encouraging us, and providing us with a drum set and a keyboard and a guitar and a microphone, so we could actually put the work in to create something, not necessarily going to Radio Shack and working and trying to save up for a musical instrument, and then by the time you get it, like, you know, the ship has sailed. You're just it can also, this is just my theory, but I feel like it could also make you resent work if you have to like just eat it so much to just like be able to get some. But every case is different, I guess.
Yeah, they were cool.
Something that I will say as being one of the I think I'm the only parent here, but everything
definitely
that I know of.
But everything that RJ just said about, you know, being on both ends of the spectrum of wanting to, you know, help your child and everything is 100% spot on. Like, you just want the best. And so, you know, understanding the sacrifice that your parents made and the support they gave you and the love they gave you through all of that is so incredibly important. And I think that it's probably a big reason why you guys are where you are today.
Yeah, and let's not even forget
100%.
Financially too. Like we had a blue collar family. Like, my dad was a mechanic, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Like, they had to give up a lot financially in order to like
Central Pennsylvania
help us do our thing. And like, I remember, so we primarily grew up on a 20-acre farm from the time that I was 11 through 18.
We weren't professional farmers. Our parents are just crazy. Yeah. They're like, let's buy a farm. It's like that movie, Let's Buy a Zoo. It's exactly like that.
Exactly like that. We had like Old McDonald's farm. And before that, we were in a log cabin for 2 years. It was just, we
moved a lot. Yeah.
But it's so awesome. Like, that's such a cool story to tell.
We actually had to sell off a bunch of sheep. We had a lot of sheep. We had
horses, chickens,
in order to buy our first PA system.
Yeah.
And then our first trailer to carry all of our gear was like a spare donkey trailer, because we had a miniature donkey too. Yeah, we had chickens, turkeys.
See, our parents originally thought maybe we could be farmers, and that lasted maybe.
Remember, Dad went like all in. He had like a beard.
He had the Amish beard. He got a tractor. He got like we actually used to sell. We used to bale hay.
Yeah.
We would sell hay bales. You know, but like,
dude, we had guns when we were kids, because it was like all summer we were hay baling.
Not real guns, like
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like real guns. I was like,
no, we had
didn't grow up with
guns.
We did. We grew up with. I'm
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah.
South Dakota. I do just want to add though, when we were talking about parenting, I think it's awesome that, so when you guys were in Rapid City, South Dakota, it's probably 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half now. When you go backstage at a Hailstorm concert, I mean, when it's all done, I mean, what happens? It's awesome. You walk in, RJ is giving you music to listen to. This is my experience. He's like, hey, listen to this. They sound like this. These guys are awesome. Like, Lzzy is talking to many different fans, my sister included, talking about music and stuff. It's all inspirational. It's not drugs and like a bunch of booze and stuff. It is so cool. So obviously you guys were brought up right, because you're doing something right and you're an inspiration for many, even backstage. So it's really cool.
Thanks, man. Well, we've toured with a lot of bands that still do a lot of that, and especially when we had our first couple tours and whatever, and we got to see a lot of what not to do. as well. But I do have to say on the subject of drugs, there is a famous dad-ism that RJ and I say all the time. That
here it comes.
Our dad was like,
hang on. Let me get a drum roll for this one. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Well, it's gonna sound weird with a drum roll, but he's like, so kids, don't do drugs. Obviously, don't do drugs. That's my responsibility as a parent to tell you not to do drugs. But if you're gonna do drugs, make sure your entire band does the same drug.
That's right. That's right. That is my dad's advice when we were kids.
Well, he believes
probably not the worst.
Thank you, Dad. We love you.
Well, when he was like growing up in the 60s and 70s and whatever, it's like, everyone was doing everything back then. And he believes that his downfall as a band is because like the keyboarder was on uppers and the bass player was on downers and Dad, no offense, I found some of those old tapes of Hyper and you guys just weren't really that good. So I don't think it has anything to do with it. It had potential. It was kind of like Kiss meets the Doors or something weird like that. But
look at my dad! He's so handsome. Look how handsome Papa Hale is.
I'm glad he gave up the box color. He's all natural.
He's full silver box now. Yeah, he used to do box color. We're gonna embarrass you a little bit, Dad. But I'll tell you. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that I was just kind of coming to this realization a couple years ago. About kind of
wound him up. He wound him up.
I know. All right, well, cut me off whenever. But I would also love you to comment on this as well, Lzzy, because you were right there with me the whole time. But don't you feel that having our parents tour with us for so many years, like our mom was our tour manager, our dad was our RV driver, and having them with us, I think I'm like at the time you're like, oh, this is so lame. I can't. Like, look at all these drugs and alcohol and women and all this, all these sins I could be getting into, but I can't because my parents are like right here. And it's just like kind of puts a dampener on like being able to do a lot of crazy things. But I remember, like you said, touring with so many bands that where there was no check on their behavior. And a lot of them, we saw them throw their careers away, up their nose or popping pills or drinking or alcoholism and all those things. And so do you kind of feel a little bit grateful that our parents were there to keep us grounded at the time?
Absolutely. I look back on that as being a huge advantage for us because there was that strange tug of like that moral compass, like, okay, mom's watching. Although I will say, RJ, I do remember at least twice you being late for bus call because you had snuck off with some girl and we found her.
I don't know what you're talking about. Moving on.
We found him once, like in the back of a pickup truck, like making out with some chick. We're like, dude, we gotta go. We gotta get to Oklahoma.
Like I said, the balance. You can't bubble wrap your kids. But you should definitely make sure that this is
like I'm making out with Oklahoma. She's right here.
Come on, I can't get the glitter off. No, I'm kidding.
Glitter is forever.
But no, you're right.
Glitter is the herpes of craft supplies. You cannot get rid of that shit.
It's on you. It's on you forever. But this is a test how cool our parents were. They're like, son, you can. Oh, thank you. That was me.
There he is.
Son, you can do whatever you want. Make sure you wear protection and just make sure that you're back like in time. Make sure that you're safe, So like, thank you, Mom, for that advice. That's kept me. I mean,
so speaking of families, speaking of families, and eventually you guys are gonna have people marrying into your family. We did find photographic evidence of that proposal, Lzzy.
Oh
yeah!
Look at RJ. Look at Joe.
Oh my God.
Brother.
RJ, you're just. Are you like happy or frightened?
Even Joe's excited. Whatever you're into, Joe.
Lizzy's got a face that just says pre-nump.
That weird. That's awesome. Oh my God.
That is so great.
That's great.
Oh my God. I had to track that down. I was like, this is too
That
good.
is awesome. How do you guys find this stuff? It's just awesome.
We have our ways.
South Dakota. What do
we
you
have
got?
a really great producer.
Yeah, we do. He's good. There he is! Hey, good to everybody. Oh, by the way, I don't know.
He looks so relaxed.
By the way, Lzzy, are you really enjoying drinking out of your brand new mug that we got in the mail a couple years ago?
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah, isn't that delicious? Isn't that
Looks like a heavy mug.
RJ, come on, give us a good look at that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, these are pretty nice. Hey Dan, you don't have one of these special fancy new.
What is it with you and putting your mouth on it?
I don't know. I want to put my mouth on everything. I haven't grown out of that as a kid.
Can we actually see it? Like, I want to see one. Come on,
check it out.
I want to see how beautiful it is. Wow. Okay.
2 Grammy winners on the show tonight. That's actually awesome.
Right. That's
Joe,
right.
Hey, Joe wants to know if you can fit your lips around the Grammy.
Oh, he would.
I
just want to lick everything.
RJ, I have one of our pints with our original. This is the original Hailstorm logo.
Oh God, that's so funny because I have a glass that says "We Are Harlot" on it. Remember, Danny Worsnop's band at the time. You know, fucking shout out to Danny Worsnop if you're watching. Love you, bud.
Oh my God.
We also got drinks with Johnny glasses. Did you get a drinks with Johnny glasses?
Oh yeah,
those are amazing.
Love
those
Johnny.
Are awesome.
We had Johnny on the show
twice now. Twice we've had him on.
He's a repeat offender.
My favorite thing ever was his opinion on bidets.
Oh yes,
God,
that's right.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
It's like fully entertaining. So I guess so.
He says butt wipes are a close second.
Oh, all right.
And I also suggested that he fills his bidet with Listerine and he'll get really tingly clean, you know?
I don't know. That sounds like that would be not.
I think if you were a girl, you would stay away from that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So, Lzzy, if you're cool to stay around here for just a little bit longer.
Oh, is it time?
We're gonna skip a little segment and we're gonna go right to the shenanigans.
All right, it's time for Stop Drop Shenanigans, everybody.
Stop, drop shenanigans. Nice. Stop, drop shenanigans. You'll never get me gold.
Oh, what do you got for us, Eva?
She's like,
are these all original?
Yes, this is all me.
I can hear it. It's awesome.
I have a future in jingle writing.
We were gonna do a segment called Eva After Hours.
Oh, and it goes a little something like this.
He's not listening.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to play the song.
But wait.
Eva After Hours.
It gets
Wait
better.
till the end. Wait till the end. Here you go.
Eva After Hours.
That's Emily. Emily did that, yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome.
My God.
Are you sure?
I don't even know what to say to that.
Do you have
the words?
Well, but before we get into the shenanigans, do you have real quick like a relationship question for Lzzy?
So not necessarily a relationship question. I kind of switch gears here in my head. Being a female in rock, and I know you've been asked this a million times, but our viewers might want to see this. Being a female in rock and being a powerful, sexy female in rock, do you feel that there's a responsibility to like deliver it, I guess, correctly? Or like, I mean, I guess there's not really a correct way to do it, but you just have to like represent. Like, how do you represent in the way that you think women should be represented?
Honestly, I think about it more like an internal situation. As in everything that I wear, everything that I exude, everything that I talk about sexually in songs, is from my place of truth. So to me, it's more about being unapologetically yourself, no matter what, than actually exuding something or trying to be this role model or trying to have this like facade of like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to stay away from. If it feels right for me and I feel like doing it, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to wear it, or I'm going to say it, in a song, or promote it in some way. And it's been interesting because I feel like at some point in time, first of all, I'm a terrible liar. So if I was trying to be anything other than I'm not, you would know. So it's just it's a beautiful thing to be a female in rock. It's fucking awesome. I love it. And whether it means I'm wearing a short skirt and high heels, or it means that I'm wearing, a pair of sweatpants and have a short haircut, it's It's whatever I'm feeling at the time.
Once I hit 30, it's all sweatpants all the time.
Yeah.
Like no more belts, nothing.
I mean, it goes back to that like moral, that not moral, I should say, but it goes back to that basic thing is that sexiness or being sexy actually has nothing to do with what you're wearing or what you're doing. It's how you, it's more presence and how you walk into a room and how you feel about yourself. You know, self-love is a huge part of it. And so I don't know. I've always had this view too about whoever's looking at me is that I don't really pay any mind to, you can think I'm the greatest thing in the world or the hottest thing in the world, and that's fine. You can absolutely hate my guts and think that I look terrible or whatever. And I don't care either way, because all that really matters is what I think about me. So
that's so cool. That's
cool. Yeah.
That is such a great message. And it's also great to see that more and more females are coming to rock music. Like we've also had Diamante and Ash Costello on the show. Plus there's Maria Brink, and it's just becoming more and more.
I love her.
I love seeing that happen. That's so great.
So it's not only is Miley Cyrus coming out with a rock album.
So cool, right?
Yeah, right. But who's the other chick? She did like a weird metal version on the, like, I think it was not the VMAs. What is it? Oh yeah, Doja Cat.
Doja Cat's awesome.
Yeah. Now, in my personal opinion, it wasn't the greatest performance of rock in the world. But what she was doing is taking her hip hop pop song and putting those kind of metal guitars in it. And it's kind of interesting to be in a position where all, RJ and I come from this base of rock, and we've been lifers and been doing it our entire lives. And so to see some of these pop people like just kind of nod in that direction really gives me hope that, like, I don't know, there's going to be a bunch of kids being like, oh, cool, rock is cool.
Well. Wait. What do you feel about Miley Cyrus right now then with the Metallica?
You know what? To be completely honest, I think she's cool. I've always loved her voice, and I always kind of liked her fuck it attitude. So if there's any candidate that's, I'll definitely listen to the record. You know,
you say that you're maybe. So smart. Are you guys maybe optimistic about it? Or
I'm optimistic about it.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm optimistic about it. I think that if someone was telling me Katy Perry was doing it, I would be like, okay, really? But no offense to Katy Perry, but she's.
No, I love that
we love Katy Perry.
No, I love that you said that, because she's one of my least favorite ever of all time.
I think that the songs were great, and she had like a good run going on, but I feel like every time she dips her toe into trying to be something edgy, she always just doesn't meet the mark. Like one of the,
like you said, it's like forcing yourself to be something you're not.
Yeah. So that and I know that there's a lot of pressure that goes along. I am in no means of that level of stardom, so I have no idea.
That interview that Miley Cyrus did with Joe Rogan, like, really kind of secured me as a fan.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
She's so intelligent.
She was talking about like the age of her voice and like all the
mental health
but my favorite though was she's like, yeah, it was kind of a contest to see how high I could get and still be a Disney star. I'm like, so how high was Hannah Montana when she was filming?
Oh my god! I don't remember any of that.
Almost as high as Bob Saget was on Full House, right?
Hey, no, Bob Saget sucked dick for coke. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
But he was America's dad.
That is not a fact.
All right, let's play some stop drop shenanigans here. We've got
drop shenanigans. Stop drop shenanigans. You'll never get me gold.
I'm sorry, it's not a play it.
All original music by RJ
My songs
Hale,
are going to play them all day long. I'll play it again. No, I won't.
Okay, so we are going to play a game, sibling edition of Who is More Likely To.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Okay.
What do you think about that, studio audience?
Who is most? So if you think it's you, raise your hand. If you don't think it's you, don't raise your hand. Because if we have people, again. Yeah, you get to play. This is RJ. You get to participate. Because if I have you guys being like RJ, Lzzy, it's gonna be mass confusion, especially for the audio of this. Okay. So, okay, who is most likely to win a fart contest?
Oh yeah, the tour bus will prove that. You should go through the bunk hall.
And he's not ashamed. Not ashamed.
Oh, I'm proud of him.
Who?
Every single one of them.
Oh God, I feel bad for you on that bus.
I
Like,
do
get
too.
some. You should stock up on Beano.
I'm so used to it.
There we go. Talk about Vito, our new sponsor.
I've been the only girl in an all-guy band for many years, and I've just.
Although she has contributed a few times, we're like, what the
that
hell?
is true.
I don't recognize that brand.
That is
oh my God,
true.
Lzzy!
I would hope so. I mean, she's human, right? Come on.
It's
It'd be weird if you didn't.
with me.
My God, you guys, this is gonna be good. We're just getting started.
All right,
okay.
all right.
Who is most likely to move back in with your parents?
Oh man, I can't see myself doing that.
I would just find another girl to mooch off, to crash at her place. That's
Emily,
literally
I'm sorry.
when I met Emily. I
Oh my
literally
God.
I was like, oh, you got your own place, cool. I guess that's home now. And I showed up with a U-Haul.
I love mom and dad, but you know we've burned that nest.
Yeah, I think that's a tie.
Yeah,
Eva.
we overstayed our welcome, far too long.
We'll call that one a draw.
Okay, who is most likely to lose their temper over an insignificant issue?
Oh, I've been guilty of this in the past, but I've been working on it.
I think that maybe not get mad, but I think that I would probably be more likely to crack under pressure. And I'm gonna take that one because like Lzzy is always just like trying to make everybody happy. And like if something is horrible going on, like I'm just like, I need you to know that I'm upset. So that's probably me.
I'm very much the Dean Martin to his Jerry Lewis in this partnership.
Well,
So
see, that's why we give him a weekly rant.
That's right.
How do you know?
I haven't done that in a while.
Isn't this
RJ,
inspired? Every
how
time
do
he
you know
opens his
when?
mouth, it's a rant.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you know when Lzzy is upset? It's got to be hard to tell when Lzzy is upset. How can you tell? Is there like an eyebrow twitch or something? Like
I can tell when she's upset when she when she's sitting next to me, just like and she just grabs my drink out of my hand, just like a couple times that has happened. You're like give me that thing. I need a drink. but like you'll never tell. She just keeps it all bottled up inside. I'm the one that's like,
it comes out in other ways. Like, you enjoying that coffee?
Oh yeah. She has a
okay.
psychological revenge, yeah. But it's funny because like real quick, like a lot of sibling bands we know were like I know a bunch that are like that tour with siblings and they say, man, they just fight all the time. They're always arguing and they ask me like, do you and your sister ever get into it like that? And I'm like,
we really don't.
No.
Really
I don't. I just don't think we have the energy,
Yeah.
or the time to like fight about stupid shit.
And we've spent more time with each other as siblings than most siblings do, because we both, not only have we been in this band for 23 years, but like
We have a lot of neighbors.
Yeah, it's literally like 2 feet from each other. So we know how to push each other's buttons if we need to.
Okay, so that was my next question.
But yeah. Okay, so maybe continue. So
My next question was, who is more likely to annoy the other on purpose?
Oh, we're both guilty of that.
That's both of us.
Yeah.
That's another draw. Another tie.
I think that sometimes I will go out of my way just to like poke. Like I know this is gonna like make you feel weird. So
Weedle.
And then, but then he'll latch on to something that he knows is slightly annoying, and then just turn the volume up.
Oh, you're giving him fuel. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Or
these guys deal with me every week. They know what they walked into.
But we know,
okay?
but we know how to be in disagreements and not.
Here's another fun thing I love to do to these guys. Ask them where they're from.
New York.
South Dakota.
I just wanted to throw him off to see if he'd actually push the button. South Dakota. Yeah.
This rocks from New York City. New York City. What?
Yeah, you know what? You know what though, RJ? You guys will be here soon because we have a new arena that's being built.
Yes, we
and
will.
It's massive, and you guys are coming. You're gonna rock the shit out of it.
Stop, Drop, and Talk will be at the show, baby. That's right. Oh yeah, thank you, Dan.
Oh my God, Dan.
There it is, the new arena.
That's what the state of South Dakota looks like.
I'll play there. It doesn't
That's
matter.
great.
I'll play
So,
there.
it's a built-in audience, and you
Yeah.
know
You
what?
guys-
Nobody goes thirsty.
You guys have already played Sturgis. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
All the
Yeah,
cheese
pretty
you can
much.
eat.
Oh my
Free
god.
hamburgers for everyone.
RJ has a button
Milkshakes.
problem. You haven't noticed?
Oh, I got
he's
several of them.
And that way, since he was
Emily, I know you're watching. Will you
tried-
please go take that away from him?
Yeah,
Hey, babe.
We've tried
She's
to
like,
get him
"Nope,
help,
you're-
but he
No.
won't take it.
Like when I'm doing the show, she's like, "He's your problem now."
you just need like a glass case to just like cover all the buttons at once, just like a glass box, just like.
Oh, we keep
Or
saying
like,
it.
or like a shock collar like effect every time he
Oh.
pushes it, and just like
That would be amazing. That'd be
Whoa,
amazing.
that is
That's a good
oh
idea.
shock color. Oh
Even-
god, we keep saying if we ever do a show in person, like they're gonna be like unplug that fucking thing, you know?
No,
but
we're
they
just
can
gonna
do
do-
nothing.
We're just gonna what we're gonna do is we're all gonna wear shock collars and we're gonna put the remotes in a bowl, and then we're all gonna pull them
Oh.
out.
Whoa!
I think that's a really good
got what?
idea for Snap Drop Shenanigans next season.
that's
maybe.
that's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I like that.
I know, right? That just came to me because normally I do that with bachelorette parties and vibrating panties, but
Oh,
That
that's
doesn't
right.
work.
You just did that.
I just did
Lizzie-
that. Yeah.
Isn't that
Lizzie,
amazing, everybody?
Lizzie, can you do me a huge favor before
Yes.
you go? Just one favor, please.
Yes.
Do you have like your favorite touring guitar there?
I have a
Ooh.
couple of them. Hold on.
I see a
I
couple
would
signature ones behind
love
you.
to see it since I'm a fan. Come on.
So,
Yeah, we all know you're a fan, Brock.
so this
Of
guy.
course I am. I'm a
So-
Hailstorm
so-
fan.
So this guy is actually is my well, not the original, but this is one of my original
RJ.
signature words.
Oh,
But
sorry. Is that- oh,
I-
no, no.
Oh, okay.
I play this one a lot, mostly. And then I'll just take you through these other two because I just so happen to have my touring thing here. So
Oh,
Nice.
what's that? Sorry, what's that body style called again?
sorry, it's an Explorer.
Okay.
And so
Explorer.
then this is the second one. This is actually the prototype that they sent me for the Black Explorer. And then the gold guy in the back there, that's actually a baritone Explorer. So it's longer neck, thicker strings, kind of in between a bass guitar and a regular guitar. And that's
Are the pickups different on between
and
the three,
on
or-
all three of these, I ended up going with classic 57s. But it's really funny because
Okay.
no matter what, like even though I've kept everything pretty consistent, they each sound different. It's
gotcha.
it's just different trees, different wood, different situations. So
Very cool.
One thing I will
Awesome.
say
Thank you
is
so much for doing that.
I'm
Yeah, that's
so
great.
glad. I'm so glad we did not play our segment "Show Us Your Pants," because man, that would have been embarrassing. Lizzie's the only one wearing real pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know
No,
what?
it's Jim Shorts.
I wasn't going to. I was actually in sweats all day, and I'm like, oh, I can do like top up for tonight. And then Joe ended up like we have this photo shoot thing for a headphones company that we got going on. So Joe and I had a small photo shoot, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to put pants on. You just
Bummer.
I blame Joe. I blame Joe
Damn it, Joe.
for the
Damn it,
pants.
Joe.
Lizzie,
I
it
did
has
have a
been,
belt on.
I know
Love you,
that's
Joe.
like
Love you, Joe.
that's like above and beyond though. The
Yeah,
belt.
I don't know how I'm
I
gonna
don't mess with
like.
belts anymore.
I used to dress like this all the time, and now I'm like I have these like ratty sweatpants and like my leggings. I even have fuzzy Crocs, which I never thought I would own
Woo!
in my life. But I ended up I got
shorts.
Crocs for Joe as a joke, and he like thought they were the most comfortable things. He's like, I've always hated them, but like because they look goofy, right? And so then he in turn got me these leopard print, but like there's like slipper Crocs, so they got like fuzziness inside. And
Yeah, those are nice. Crocs, all the way to go.
No, I couldn't even try to get dressed up today. I'm literally in a sports bra and a shirt that says "Girls invented punk rock, not
yes,
England."
I love that.
Oh, we forgot to do that. Let's show us
that's
your shirts.
awesome.
B-Rock, what shirt are you wearing today? You'll like this, Lizzie.
I got a Rick and Morty one. Rick
Yes.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with Rick and Morty.
which is one of our favorite shows ever. I'm trying to turn these guys onto it.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to make it through the first like 4 episodes to really get the pacing of the comedy and the timing. After that, I was hooked. Like in the
Start
beginning,
with the
like,
Mystics episode.
the first episode, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" You know, and like, and am I going to be able to handle this? And now I'm addicted. So
That's how I felt
Oh
about
my God.
Letterkenny.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't watched that yet,
Oh, what?
actually.
Oh my god, you have to see Letterkenny. It's one of the
Yeah,
best.
apparently
What
everybody.
about Nathan for You? Have you ever watched Nathan for You? or Adventure
RJ,
Time.
you're keeping me in the dark here with all these great shows.
I know that, like, such
I'm
quality,
away.
such quality binging.
I am your only sister. Share the wealth. Come on.
All
Lzzy,
right. Well,
have you watched Mandalorian? Have you
No.
tried that? Oh no!
I'm
Baby
Yoda
Yoda
on all of these.
Then I can get what the whole hype is with Baby Yoda.
Every
Anyway,
every time Lzzy says "fuck," Joe says "language, Lzzy."
Oh,
every single time.
You're one to talk, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Just
Lzzy, it has been so much fun having you on. Finally, we got to have you on.
Finally.
A good
It
time.
only
Thank
took
you so much
until now, and we are so gracious that you were here. All of our viewers have been going bananas in the comments. They're so excited to have you on the show as well. So thank you again so much. Hopefully we can do it again, maybe next season, maybe in person.
Yeah, right? Yes. And anytime, guys. You guys are delightful, and I just really need to laugh that hard today.
There you go. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here for this. Laughter. Thank you,
That's
studio
what we're here
audience.
for, yes.
Thank you for coming on the show and for hanging out with us. This has been one of the most fun episodes to date. This has been amazing.
I would agree.
All the freak fans watching, you guys are amazing. Love you all. Can't wait to do shows again so we can see all you guys. But until then, we'll just keep on doing this.
Hell yeah, man.
And good luck with all your endeavors. I'm glad that you and I both have been getting into hosting. It's been a really fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, good job. Well, you were always camera ready, so it was born. Where's the camera? One more RJ story. So like every time that we would go into the grocery store, you know how they have like the security camera like right before the doors go whoosh, RJ would like wander off
on TV
all the time and would just go in and out that door and like
I can totally see that. That makes sense.
Nothing about that surpririzes me. Even
I know. I knew that would.
All right, enough RJ stories. Goodbye, Lzzy. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm leaving. Bye.
I'll
Lzzy,
see you
thank
next
you
week.
so much.
Oh, Lzzy, everybody's
see
sister,
ya.
my sweet sister, Lzzy. That's what Dexter
From
used to
Dexter's
say.
Laboratory.
So I'm very excited. So I'll just go ahead and announce right now that next week I'm going back to Nashville. We're going to be going together in the studio, making some new music. So everybody look out for that. It's a new Hailstorm.
Can't wait.
So that was so great. Oh my God. What a great show. What an amazing week. What an incredible time in the country right now. Are you guys ready for me to end the show on a high note?
Let's do it.
All right, let's end the show on a high note. And this week's high note is called Get Off Your Political High Horse. Guess what, America? Like it or not, your political opponents are also Americans. They're also human with families and worries and their own menu of issues that they have to deal with on a daily basis. They're not your enemies. I know we talked about this earlier about all of us trying to get in the mentality of coming together. And I think that that's a very important thing. And I have a very important message to talk about this because for the longest time, we've seen everybody trying to find ways to separate us. We're trying to divide us. We have found our new thing to separate people from ourselves, our new excuse to hate someone, not religion or race or sexual orientation or identity, but political party affiliation. And we have a whole new vocabulary of labels to slap on each other. Redneck versus snowflakes. Soy boys versus vanilla ISIS. That's one of my favorites. One I heard that I genuinely feel is really messed up is the one that summed it all up for me was a word that I heard that starts with the word lib and ends with, I won't say it on the show, but it starts with lib and ends with a derogatory word used against people with mental disabilities. So basically just a handy playground insult to dehumanize someone who disagrees with you and make you feel better about yourself. So this is wrong, and we need to get away from this. As I was rabbit holing through the internet again this week, I stumbled on a social experiment that from a bunch of scientists that was done recently, where political scientists asked people who identify as either Republican or Democrat whether they feel comfortable with their child marrying someone registered to the opposite political party. And many of them said, to my non-surprise, no child of mine, Harold, our son just got married to one of AOC's campaign managers. I have no son. Okay, that may be a little bit extreme, but probably not very far off. But then, get this. Check this out. They asked them, what if your child married someone of the opposite party, but you knew guaranteed that they would never, ever talk about politics? And to my surprise, actually, nearly every single one of them said they would be fine with that. So that says a lot to me. Maybe we all don't disagree with a passion, but maybe we all just hate talking about politics, especially with people we disagree with. That's it, though. Like, we're so much more terrified of having uncomfortable conversations around the dinner table than
Agreed.
what their core beliefs are, which I guess kind of makes sense. I mean, it's kind of the same feeling I get when someone says to me, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus. I'm like, I'd rather you didn't. It's probably the same reaction most of us get when someone says, I'd like to talk about Trump or I'd like to talk about Biden. Nobody wants that. Here's how I see it. Walking around showing your political opinion is like walking around with your dick out. Nobody wants to see that. Put it away. Doesn't matter if you like dicks or if you don't like dicks. As soon as one of them comes out in public, it usually means the party is over. The fun times have come to a screeching halt, and most people are running for the door. Bottom line, though, political opinions are not a reason to hate someone. It doesn't make them your enemy or less than human or equal to you. Last week, we talked about moral convictions, to where people 100% believe their views are plain fact, and anyone who disagrees with them is simply wrong. But now we take conviction to a place of hate, and all it takes is a little nudge, someone whispering in your ear, or more likely barking at you over your TV for you to go, yeah, that's right. Those people are terrible and they're wrong. Information sources affirming your pre-existing biases, political rhetoric now in the forefront of everything. It's almost impossible to avoid now. And now the problem is we're a species who hate talking about it, but we have no choice but to talk about it because it's in our face 24/7. Like, let's make politics boring again, people, please. But remember this. Not only are we in a relationship with our country, like I mentioned on the last season, but we're also in a relationship with each other. It is possible to be in a relationship with someone who has different opinions than you. Here's some examples. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. A great example of a couple who couldn't be more opposite. She's the queen of ska, and he's the king of truck nuts. Yet their love for each other overpowers any conflicting political opinions that they have. New York Yankees legend Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez have both donated to opposing political parties, yet Alex knows he hit a home run with Jennifer, and he won't let her go for some stupid reason like politics. Kim and Kanye are, for some reason, still together. But I think it's great how they make it work. No, really. I'm really glad how supportive Kim is for helping Kanye get through all his moments, I guess you could call them. And what about that charitable thing that Kim is doing right now? She's helping to save every other woman in the world from having to be married to Kanye West. You're a saint, Kim. That's a joke, yes. But really, Kellyanne and George must have some kind of masochistic, kinky thing going on with their political disagreements. No shame in your game, players. James Carville and Mary Madeline, I believe you pronounce it, they've been happily married for 27 years with 2 kids, yet James has worked with Bill Clinton, and both are extremely active in the opposing parties. And even beyond romantic relationships, how many of you are family with people of greatly opposing opinions? I've toured around this great country, and I love America so much. It's so awesome, getting to absorb so many different cultures. We have it really good in this country, and I've been all around the world. I don't want to live anywhere else. My love for my country and my American family overrules any stupid little disagreements I have with people over something as lame as politics. I live in LA and Nashville, but I love you, Louisville. I love you, Wichita. You complete me, Casper, Wyoming. And yes, even you too, Peoria. And I would have a big gaping void in my soul without you, all of West Virginia. And trust me, I tried to name a town in West Virginia, but they don't have any. Isn't that weird? In my experience, music is a powerful healer that can break into barriers and that divide us. We have so many fans with so many differing opinions, yet they all stand together and sing all the songs in less than perfect harmony, but in perfect unity. We need to turn down the heat between all of us because we're all family and we're the only family we got. Do you know what happens when we all fight each other? The rich owners, the upper 1%, they all get away with all the money and control. And one thing that they don't want is everybody coming together in unity to carve the country better for all of us and hold their feet to the fire. So for the next 4 years, let's all do that together. We've all learned a lot. And we all know how these fuckers how to hold these fuckers accountable. And we know to use the power of the vote. So let's not let up. It's time for a big family reunion, everybody. Let's call up crazy Uncle Mike and Aunt Karen. Tell them how much we love them and we want to work with them and change their hearts and see the world in different lenses other than their cable news channels. Don't give up on your slightly racist, angry family. Instead, change their hearts with compassion and empathy. Come on, American family. Let's Let's work together to build a better place for all of us. And that's my message I have for all of you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I want to thank Lzzy and Eva Steele and B-Rock and Dan Gattulo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week on your favorite show in the fucking universe. It's
Stop, drop, and talk.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
See you
Night,
next
guys.
week.